On today's ChurchTechCast Q&A show, cutting, looping video, and DVDs in ProPresenter 5. Hi everyone, and welcome again to another episode of the ChurchTechCast Q&A show. This is the show where every week I answer your ChurchTechCast, your church tech, technology, etc. questions. And so if you have any questions or comments, head on over to trinitydigitalmedia.com/contact or hit me up on Twitter, Paul Allen Cliff, PaulAlanclif. So, the first question comes to me from Jasai Monico, and he asked in response to one of my ProPresenter 5 tutorials, which today all the questions are on ProPresenter 5, and that's one of my areas of expertise, so I'm happy to answer these. He asked, how can I cut video clips? So, there are a few different answers depending on what that means. So let me answer all of them. First off, if by cut you mean remove from the library of videos, no problem. Right-click on the video you want to remove, and there's a choice there to delete it out of that. If you mean how to shorten a video, then the answer is also fairly easy. If you go and you right-click on the video, again in the foreground or background media bin down there towards the bottom of ProPresenter 5, there is a media properties choice. Once you get there, I believe it's the third tab. One of the tabs, I'm doing this by memory, allows you to edit a clip. So you can mark an end point where it starts, and you mark an out point where it ends, ENDS. And that's a way to do it. So if the clip is too long, no problem. Just put the playhead, watch it, or scoot over that thing that seems to be moving as you're watching it. Scoot that to where you want it to be. I think I would move it just a little before where you want it to be, hit play, and let it get to where you want it to stop, and hit pause. You can tweak it a little bit one way or the other once you're there, and then there is a little button that's marked out, so you want to click out. So you can do that. So that's how to cut it, as in shorten it. You can also do some full-on editing in another piece of software. I've wondered if it's possible to take one video and take snippets from it in different places. Haven't tried it yet. So that's something that I'll try sometime in the future in ProPresenter 5. So those are the basic answers to your questions. Now, it could be that what you mean is, how do I make a cut from one video to another? It should be, if you set the transition to the default transition, that's a cut, and you can just skip from one video to another, or skip from a video to a still, etc., and that would make a cut. So those are the different ways of how you can cut video clips. So I asked for more clarity, but I haven't heard back from Jasai. So hopefully he'll give us more clarity, and then I can tell you later. Florian asked this just yesterday. Again, these two came on my YouTube channel, which, if you just want a shortcut to it, it's bit.ly/paultube, all lowercase, all one word, bit.ly/paultube, and that'll take you directly there. Or you could do youtube.com/SEMPEI13. That's a nickname I used to go by, and when I started putting up the more professional videos, I foolishly didn't change it, so now I'm a little stuck with it, but that's okay. So you can do that as well. Anyway, Aaron Florian asks a question again on ProPresenter 5. I'm having issues with my videos where they want to loop back on themselves no matter whether they are foreground or background. How do I fix this to allow the video clip to move to the next slide in the queue when it is finished playing? So I want to know if this is a problem with the version that you're dealing with, Aaron, or if what's going on is in fact that you haven't set it up correctly. I'm not going to assume either one, so I'm going to tell you both, and whichever fits your situation. First off, let's try these things. You might have already tried them, and if you have, then let's take a look at the version number. First, on each video in the bin down below, you should have one of three icons, like in the corner of the video. You should have what looks like kind of a loop back on itself, like almost a completed circle with an arrow on one end of the not quite completed circle. That is the "this video keeps looping" icon. The next possibility is what's called palindrome, and that is a feature in ProPresenter 5 where it plays and then it plays backwards, then it plays and then it plays backwards. That icon is a line with an arrow on either end. The one that we need for our purposes is what looks like an arrow meeting up to a vertical line, and that indicates this plays until it stops. So what you want to do is make sure that that is set correctly. Also, you might go into the media properties for the video that you're having trouble with, and so that's right-click Media Properties, and make sure that it's not the case that this video is like 20 minutes long where it loops 5 times or something like that. If that were the case, what you would do is you would mark an out point, like I told Jasai just a minute ago. So that is kind of the basics of it. Now, it could be there's a glitch in ProPresenter 5 where you've done all this and it hasn't affected it. So go and tell me which version of ProPresenter 5 and we'll compare it to mine. Also, is it the Mac version or the PC? I only use the Macintosh version, so it could be that there's a setting that I don't know about in the PC version, although they're supposed to be roughly identical. So that's the next thing that I would check if I were you. Let me think, is there anything else? Oh, yes. So this was on the tutorial of how to make videos audio advance when they're done. So this only works on a video that is a foreground video, but as a foreground video, it is not by itself in the service order on the left-hand side. It is part of a presentation that's like a song. Now, it doesn't have to have anything else in it, but when you click on the video in the order on the left-hand side, if you see a big old play button, that's not set correctly. What we need is to add something as if you're adding a new song, and then drag the video from the foreground videos into that new queue. So you drag that in, and that's how we can make this work, where it will go from one event to the next in the order. So if you're doing it as a background video, even if we solve this looping issue, it's not going to fix this. You need to make sure it's a foreground video. And then you can right-click on that and set the go to next timer to 0, because on a foreground video, the go to next timer, the number is how many seconds after the video is done playing before it goes to the next slide. Understand? So that's what that is. So I hope that helps you. Now, my lovely and gracious wife, who has just taken over a job in the preschool ministry of my church and therefore has to interact with ProPresenter from time to time, called me today with this question, and I thought, well, if she doesn't know this, chances are someone else doesn't know it. In fact, probably a lot of someone else's don't know it, because she's fairly technical. And just by being married to me, occasionally I get excited about stuff and I talk. So she sometimes knows stuff just by virtue of being married to me, and sorry, that job's taken, no one else can be married to me. So she just got a DVD. This is a video DVD, like you would throw into a DVD player, Blu-ray player, something like that. And she said, okay, I put this into the computer, it plays, it's got a menu, it's beautiful. Now when I open up the DVD itself on the computer, I see all kinds of files. I see a video TS, I see an audio TS. I don't recognize any of these things. Paul, how can you help me? So here's what I told her to do. And this is going to be something that I really need to make a screencast on. But I made a similar one on using Mpeg stream clip to use the format of the to take a video file that's in one format and transcode it so that ProPresenter likes it better. That is in my ProPresenter 5 tutorial playlist. So if you go to bit.ly/pro5tuts, P-R-O, the number 5, T-U-T-S, that will take you to that playlist on YouTube, or you can just go to bit.ly/paultube and look for the ProPresenter 5 tutorial playlist. Either way would work. There's one on using Mpeg stream clip to transcode a video file. That's basically how we're going to do it. What you want to do is you want to download Mpeg stream clip from Squared 5, S-Q-U-A-R-E-D, the number 5. Do not download it from somewhere else. It pains me to say, but CNET, download.com, several of these others include other software that does less than good things to your computer. Now, it could be that it's benign, it just adds hard drive space, or it could be that it's not good. So, it's not viruses, it's just software that's not good for your general browsing experience or your general computing experience. So you want to get this directly from the source, which is Squared 5. Squared 5 makes Mpeg stream clip, and that's spelled M-P-E-G-S-T-R-E-A-M-C-L-I-P, Mpeg stream clip. So what you're going to do is you're going to download and install that. No problem. Stick your DVD in your optical drive on your computer, assuming you have one. If not, this is going to be much more difficult. And then the next thing that you're going to want to do is there's an option for opening up a DVD. You open up the DVD, and then you're going to mark where you want it to start and where you want it to stop, and then export it as a QuickTime in H.264 format. You want probably 70-80% quality, bare minimum. You want it the same size as the source. You just basically want to turn it from the DVD style of video into something easier to deal with, like a QuickTime. Now, this is assuming that this DVD isn't a Hollywood DVD and has all sorts of copy protection. This is assuming that this is a DVD that you have permission to do this with. Let's say someone comes in and says, yeah, here's a copy of our church's 15th anniversary celebration. We need a clip from it. No problem. You can do that. You know, your video team was the one that created it, or what have you. So something like that is the situation. I don't want you to do this with a copy of Willy Wonka so that you can watch it more easily. That's kind of an iffy thing, so I don't want you to do that. But suffice it to say, a DVD is set up with all kinds of kind of weird video files that do not play nicely with the way that a computer works unless you transcode it. Now, the other alternative is you can bring that into ProPresenter, mark an in and an out point on ProPresenter. Make sure you check the box to keep the DVD from spinning down, and you can play it directly. It's a little less reliable. But again, if you were trying to play Willy Wonka, you had the CVLI license. I'm assuming that's one of the creators on the CVLI license. Let's assume, for discussion's sake, that you're playing a movie which is on the list of creators for the CVLI license. That's C as in Charlie, V as in Victor, LI.org. If you have that license and it's on the list of creators, let's just say this is one of the ones that you have. It doesn't give you permission to rip it off the DVD, but to play it, you can play it in ProPresenter 5 by starting ProPresenter 5, and there's a DVD feature where you can click that and you can say, hey, start this clip here, end this clip here, and you're fine from there. So that's what I would suggest that you do. It's better to rip it if, again, you're allowed to do so. If you're not, then what you need to do is you need to play it directly. One of her friends who's kind of got a background in the technical stuff for this area suggested using VLC as a possibility. That would work, or playing it in the Apple DVD player and then just switching over. But this is going to be a better way to do it, assuming you have permission to rip it. Okay? So that's how we'll do it, and I hope that that helps you as you're using this information to go out and change eternity. Don't forget that my latest book, Church Video School, is still available at trinitydigitalmedia.com/CVS for Church Video School. So trinitydigitalmedia.com/CVS, and you can get your copy today by going there. If you're training someone who doesn't know a lot about video, this will get them up to speed in just a couple of months, just by, say, hey, take 5 minutes a day, read this lesson, and at least you'll have the vocabulary. You'll have the general gist of how to do video. You may not be Steven Spielberg at the end, but you'll be someone that is up and running and ready to go from there. So that's what Church Video School is about. If that is you, I would pick up a copy right now if you need to do video for your church. And that should help you a lot. It'll also tell you about choosing worship software, why I've chosen ProPresenter 5 as the worship software that I use. Here's a hint. It was made by a church video person who saw the need and made something that fit the needs, not a programmer that saw the need and tried to do it having never done this in real life. So it's great in that way. So I hope that that helps you. I hope that you'll be able to use this information as a part of what you do in your church and as you go out and change eternity. Don't forget to like, share, comment, thumbs up, etc. this video, and leave your comments below. Until next time, this is Paul Allen Clifford with TrinityDigitalMedia.com.